What if I told you that this drawing could be created just by reading this sequence of numbers? 1, 35, 12, 12, 12, egg. What the does that mean? So this is what we're going to be making today. No guidelines, no measuring heads, just your chewed up pencil and your ninja intuition. So watch me carefully. Are you paying attention?
I will be watching your every move, making sure that as the cat...
Art supplies I used for this. Regular printer paper, a chewed up stub of an eraser, and a mechanical pencil that I think used to say Papermate. I don't want anyone complaining about art supplies. My grandmother used to create amazing works of art in 3 feet of snow during the flood of 42, so you can draw your dang anime characters with the tools you got, you weeb! I like to start with a line just to gauge how tall my character is going to be. Then I add a rectangle shape toward the top of that line that's slightly wider at the bottom. The top of the rectangle is her shoulders and the bottom is her hips. Now I draw lines coming down so that I can see how long the legs are going to be. Make sure, especially for manga and anime characters, that the legs are extra long. There are many tutorials with like 7.5 heads tall and the ankles fall at the 7 line or whatever, but all you need to know is that the lines of the legs should be a little more than half the length of the whole figure. Make sure to add a bend to the bottom of the rectangle and draw this tiny little gap. That's going to be where the insides of the legs meet her pelvis. For easy feet, just draw some triangles. That's it. Draw some lines for the arms that go to the lowest part of that rectangle that you drew. Then add little blobby shapes for the hands because, well, hands are hard. And I'll have a drawing hacks tutorial for hands soon. She needs a head. So, draw an egg, preferably above her shoulders. Do the best you can. Now, one way to shape her torso is to use this triangle method here, but I don't ever really do that. I just did it for the tutorial. But to put it simply, basically just pinch the sides toward each other like this. For her breasts, draw C shapes that slightly overlap the sides of your rectangle. In reality, breasts are affected by gravity, but in manga and anime, we can get away with simplification like this. And you can also add a Y shape for the cleavage. Again, stylized, not realistic. Now, put in the knotted remnants of flesh left over from her severed umbilical cord. Some people call it a belly button, pessimists. Here's the best part. Draw the legs with no definition at all. Just lifeless straight lines and mark the halfway point. That will be the knees. Then you bulge out the thighs like you're inflating them with air, and the knees will be a lot thinner. And think of the calves as drumsticks that you could just rip off and gnaw into. Thicker up top and thinner down by the ankles. And start the same way for the arms with the lifeless lines like you did for the legs. Notice that the underside of the arms meet the breast, which covers where the armpit would be. Then mark the halfway point and another halfway point above that. That will be where the elbows and shoulder muscles go. Her arm will bulge out at her shoulder muscles and forearms. It's thinner at the wrists and biceps. I found that you don't have to be too concerned with 100% accurate anatomy when it comes to stylized cartoons like this, so just draw some gentle curves in this approximate location and go for it without worrying too much, so chill out. Make sure the neck is thin and then taper down to connect with her shoulders. The collarbones will actually align with the top of that rectangle that you made. Cool how that works out, huh? Now, I'm going to erase everything that I just did and go over the lines with a pen so that you can see it better without the sketchy part. But don't worry, it's a chewed up Sharpie, nothing too fancy. Heck, you could ink the drawings with blood of your enemies if you want. I should try that. And that's it. But it's not an official Zabio Arts drawing without some derpy fails. So here's a pro tip. Make sure you don't make art that's too good. You might end up happy with what you created. And we wouldn't want that, would we? Oh man, I hate all my drawings. I'm going to trace over the drawing lightly so that we have a light outline of her body shape so that we can draw her clothes over the top of it. This is just to show how a character would look using the same body that we made. The tutorial on just the face will be ready soon. I want to spend more time on the face than I did with this character, so I'll save it for another video. You can hit the bell on my thing so that you'll be notified when I post the hands and face tutorials. I also might just have some more surprises that you'd miss. And by that, I mean I definitely have some interesting things planned that I'm working on. And when I post them, you'll be the first to know. Fam! Quick tip on sleeves, especially sweater sleeves like this. Don't do too many wrinkles. A few really do go a long way. I actually did too many on this one. But in general though, long sleeves usually bunch up at the wrist and are pulled tight by the armpit. Oh my god, what are those? I'm giving her shorts and leggings. So to do the leggings, all you need to do is add squiggles at the sides of the knees, like the material is starting to bunch up without the wrinkles yet. And I added Katara's necklace for some reason. And then boom! I erased the whole thing just so that I could redraw it, but with my disgusting chewed up Sharpie that's covered in my saliva. So using these principles, you can learn the other aspects of drawing and painting to create a drawing like this. I learned all on YouTube with tutorials like these. Markcrilley, Jazza, Feng, Proko, Sycra, and Baylee J, Fun to Draw, Sinix Design, Terry White, Brushboost, formerly known as Mark Burnett from Cube Brush. I love his Viking coloring tutorial, oh my gosh, so awesome. But this is the first step, drawing the body. But how does 135 12 12 12 egg have to do with anything? Well, here it is, you little monkey. One is... I'm in a weird mood. 1 is the length of the body. 35 is the 3/5 of where the torso ends and the legs begin. Ow, what the heck? 12 is dividing the legs in half to get the knee. The next 12 is dividing the arms in half to get the elbows. And the last 12 is to divide the top part of the arm in half again to get the deltoid muscle and approximate location of the armpits and breasts. So what's the egg? Well, you probably remember. That's the head. Now the cool part is that 135 12 12 12 egg is not the only magic sentence. I've actually figured out that there's a 135 12 12 12 egg thing for almost every part of the human body. And I'm not done researching and practicing, but so far everything I've found has an equation like this. And I'll make videos letting you know what I find. I think you'll like it. Also, thanks for sending me fan art. I don't have a bunch of subs yet. At the moment of making this, I'm at 200 something, but the fan art keeps coming in, so thank you. It makes my day. And that's it. Go to bed.